Morning to all. I welcome you all for the second session of this 1 week FTP or 5 days FTP. Our second session is I welcome Dr. Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor from Government College of Engineering, Srirangam, who is going to present a night session about the physics of field effect transistor. We will know that the field effect transistor is a very basic thing of our VLSI design. So we'll have a different view of rather than calling. Usually we used to have the basic of MOSFET by using only our electronics people or engineers. I hope that it is better to have a view of a person who is from physics department. That's why I invited Dr. Karthikeyan for this session. Dr. Karthikeyan, he has received his doctorate from IGCAR, Kalpakkam, and he has published around 20 international journals and 20 international conferences. I welcome you, sir. Now I am requesting Dr. Karthikeyan to take over this session.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You can. Yeah.
Okay. So, sir, whether my screen is visible, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Shall I start?
Sir, you can.
Yeah. So, very good morning to all the participants. So, before going into the session, I would like to thank Dr. M. Ilangovan, coordinator of this program, who has given me this opportunity to present my understanding or present my view on this field effect transistor devices. I am Dr. Karthikeyan from Department of Physics, Government College of Engineering, Srirangam. So, as a formality, since the program is all about research issues in VLSI, so let us start with this one. Like, why we prefer MOSFET in VLSI? Because people from electronics background know that unipolar device has much better utilized in high frequency operations, and this MOSFET is a voltage controlled device, minimal power dissipation, and it has higher switching speed. It has low density packaging. That means we can have more number of MOSFETs in a given area. It has high input impedance, less noisy, less chance of thermal runaway, and the list goes on. So I'm not going to take any standard classroom activities for defining all these things. So this has a formality. I've just said that why MOSFET is introduced in this VLSI design. But my main interest is in like why this when you say FET devices, FET devices, mostly it is like field effect transistor. It is the device operates mainly on the electric fields. So there are two types of electric fields which we are going to see in the due course of time, and how these two electric fields culminate themselves within the device to change the performance of the device. So I'm here to present my understanding on the fields which have been created inside this MOSFET. For that purpose, I have taken N-channel enhancement type MOSFET, and this understanding applicable to all types of MOSFET which are there currently in the market. Before going into that one, I will just want to give you a glimpse of how an electric field is produced and how the charges act when you have an electric field. Suppose when you place two charges, let us say a positive charge, it's a single point charge. So when you have a positive charge, this electric field lines or lines of force starts from the positive charge and it reaches out to the negative charge. If there is a negative charge, the lines of force ends at the negative charge. If not, it continues and find a negative charge at an infinite distance. So when you want to create an electric field, if you can place two different charges at different points, then you can able to create the electric field. Now what happens is when you place a unit positive charge in this electric field, you will see that this positive charge moves in the direction of electric field. That means it moves along the direction of electric field. Suppose if I place a negative charge here, what will happen is this negative charge will be moving against the direction of electric field. So that is the first point which I just want to ensure that this field and the charge effects are clearly understood. Second thing is that when you place charges in this kind of arrangements, which we call it as a parallel plate capacitor arrangement, you can see that electric field lines emanate from the higher potential side where this positive charges are placed or connected, and it ends up at lower potential side where these negative charges are ground. It has been connected to the ground. Now you can see that when you place a positive charge, it moves along the field and it reaches the lower potential region. Whereas when you place a negative charge in the electric field, it moves towards the higher potential side. So with this, we'll move on to the MOSFET. So this is a basic N-channel enhancement type MOSFET which I have taken, and as a formality, I have just introduced that it is laid on a piece type substrate where you have two highly doped islands of N-type material, and it has been insulated with a gate material which is nothing but a silicon dioxide layer, and you have four different terminals. One is source, gate, drain, and the substrate terminal. Now when we subjected this type of MOSFET to a gate voltage, that means when we give only connect a gate to a positive terminal and substrate to a ground, you will see that there is a vertical field which has been established in the MOSFET. So this red line denotes the electric field created due to the applied VGS. Similarly, if you just connect your source and drain to a potential source, which we call it as VDS, and you supply some voltage, you can see that there is a horizontal field which is originating from the drain side because it has been connected to the positive end, and it ends at the source side. So we have two types of fields. One is a vertical field, another one is horizontal field, and these two fields they interact at different strengths at different points, and the resultant field has it's enabled us to get a device which we use in our daily purpose. So with this two types of field, we move on to the MOSFET. So this is the N-type enhancement type MOSFET which I have taken for this talk purpose, and people know that the output characteristics of a given N-type MOSFET is will be given like this, where you have VDS and ID are plotted on X and Y axis respectively. You can see that the current drain current varies depending upon three parameters. One is what is the gate voltage you have given, another one is what is the drain source voltage we have given, and what is the output current which we have. So when there is no gate voltage, you will see that there will be a very minimal ID when you increase VDS from 0 to some positive voltage. We have to understand why that is happening. And second thing is that when you give some gate voltage and increase VDS, you will see that the current output current raises steadily up to some point and then starts to decrease, and that also we need to understand. And then the third one is that why when we increase gate voltage more and more, the output current increases more and more. So these three phenomena which we need to understand. And basically when you go into any textbook, people say that this is ohmic region, this is a saturation region, this is cutoff region, and at this point you have a pinch off region. So that is the basic things, but why that is happening. So let's go into the details. So when we connect N-type MOSFET to this kind of voltages, that is from to VDS, I have not supplied any voltage. That means this source to drain voltage is kept at 0 volt, whereas I have given very small positive voltage to the gate, but it is not greater than the threshold voltage. Now, what happens under this condition is that your textbook will define that there is no inversion channel form. But in this condition, if you increase this VDS, you will see that drain current, in very minimal drain current flows, and then this type of in this region, the device is said to be in the cutoff region. But the question comes here is that until then it is fine, but when you go a little deeper into this, the question comes to that what is that threshold voltage? I can understand what is the gate voltage because I'm supplying it to the gate. I can understand what is the VDS and because I'm supplying it to the drain and source. But what is this VTH? From where this VTH is coming and what is the origin of that threshold voltage? And finally, why when we increase VDS from 0 to some higher voltage, this ID has to increase? These are the three questions which we need to address in this configuration. So for that, we have taken the help of some basic atomic structures. For example, I am here taken an atom where you have 29 protons and 29 electrons, out of which 28 electrons are inner bound. That means they are closely packed, and there is one electron which has been in the outermost shell, which we call it as valence shell. And this electron is the one which is having the highest, utmost importance in this device physics. So why this valence electron is so important is that we can able to manipulate the position of this valence electron, because when you are having these core electrons, when you apply any external electric field, this electron reacts, or this electron undergoes maximal change for the applied electric field rather than your core electrons. The reason being is that when you have two different charges, naturally Coulombic forces will be in action. When the distance are more, the Coulombic forces are very less. So when you consider this valence electron, it is at the largest distance from your core. So the Coulombic attractive force is very less. That's why these valence electrons are said to be loosely bound electrons in a given atom. Okay, fine. So what is so important, or what is so required about this valence electron is that when you say electrical conductivity or thermal conductivity, we always say that this valence electron participates in the electrical and thermal conductivity. But again, there is been debate like how this electron is being able to transfer your electrical energy or heat energy. One set of people says that this electron moves from one end to the other end, or some people say that it is because of the collision. So let us go a little bit next step into that. So what happens is when you have a metal, you connect it to a positive side. So here you have higher potential side, and here you have a lower potential side. One school of thought is that these electrons from higher potential side migrates towards the lower potential side, which constitutes an electric current. But is this right? That is what we need to understand here. So to make this concept concrete, what we can do is let us go into the thermal conductive region. So let us say that I have a metal here, and this metal I have put it on one side of the metal to a higher temperature side, probably a heat source, and I'm holding it on the other side. Now, what will happen is that when you increase the temperature, all we know is that heat transfers from the higher temperature side to the lower temperature side. The question is how it gets transferred. So here, when I have not started heating, so all the atoms are at same energy level, that is low energy level. So that has been represented with white color. So now let us say I'm starting this, so I'm slowly started to heat this one. You can see that as the energy of the atom increases, the energy has been represented with red color. So you can see that when again we'll start this, you can see here this atom doesn't move and it holds in the same position, but as the energy increases it vibrates more. So what happens is that when it vibrates more and more, it collides with the nearest atom, and because of that you will see that, because of that you can see that the energy from this end is slowly being transferred to the other side. So basically what is happening inside the material is that when you subject the material to a energy source, in this case it is heat energy, you can always consider this to be an electrical energy also. When you have a higher energy, the atom collides so with the nearest atom. What will happen is that when you have two kinds of atoms like this, you will see that this valence electron is the first element which collides with the another valence electron of another atom. So the energy transfer, most of the energy transfer happens because of the collision between valence electron of one atom with the valence electron of the another atom. So in that context, this valence electron becomes highly important. So, if okay, let us put it in the other case for argument's sake. If really electron moves from this side to the other side, what will happen? When I hold a metal rod in my hand, you will see that when this electron moves from this atom and slowly migrates towards this, it will constitute an electric current. Basically, I should experience an electric shock. Do we experience an electric shock? No, right? That says that electrons are not physically moving from an atom, but rather the energy is being transferred uh, because of the collision between valence electrons of neighbor atoms. So with increase in energy, what will happen is that your atom's vibration increases, and through that the energy gets transferred from one end to the another end. So this is the phenomena in which the energy is being transferred. Same thing which will be applicable even in MOSFET also, because there most of the explanation are given based on that, like electrons are moving from source to the drain. So for small mathematical checkup, what I can say is that the ionization potential of silicon is 3.8 into 10 power 7 volts per centimeter. That means if you supply that much electric field to a silicon atom, you can able to take an electron out of the silicon atom. So when you take an electron out of this atom, that means that it is ionized. So same thing has to happen when you say that electrons are moving from one end to the other end, right? So if you do the post back calculation, you will see that the maximum voltage which can be applied to a MOSFET device is like 1 into 10 power 6 volt per centimeter under extreme cases. But what is required is, like, it is 3 into 10 power 7, that means 30 times or 30 times more electric field is required for removing an electron from one atom and passing it on to the other. So basically that is not going to happen, and if you supply that much electric field, the device is going to burn. So the only way the energy gets transferred from one end to other end is through this inelastic collision. So as per my understanding goes, there is no movement of physical movement of electron out of an atom. Yes, electron moves within a given orbit and it goes on and on, but it is not going to come out of the atom. So there has been a misunderstanding that a free electron means electrons are free to move anywhere, but that is not right. This free electron means that this electron can move anywhere in the orbit, whereas this electron cannot move to the next one, right? Because this electron will be repelled by this electron, and this electron also will be repelled, so the movement will be restricted. Whereas for this electron, it can move anywhere in the orbit. In that sense, that electron is called as free electron. So let us move with this. Let us move forward. So when you have a source and drain in between p-type silicon materials, you will see that either electrons, here what I have represented as positive core is the collection of nucleus as well as the core electrons, and only the valence electron I have just represented as a single dot. Here you can see that these electrons are randomly distributed. So when you supply any energy, this energy from the source cannot be transferred to the nearest atom, and this energy cannot be transferred to the next one. That means it doesn't experience sufficient inelastic collision. That means when you don't have sufficient collision between atoms, energy cannot be transferred from higher energy side to the lower energy side. So that is where we need a threshold voltage. So when we apply an electric field from gate to source, you will see that all the electrons gets attracted towards your positive side. So here you have positive side of the gate, and here you have the negative side of the gate. So your electrons gets attracted towards the positive side. Here the probability of electron colliding with the nearest valence electron is more. So because of that, you will see that when you apply a sufficient voltage, you will see that when you apply a sufficient voltage, you will see that electricity being transferred from one end to the other end. So that is why you require a threshold voltage. So the role of threshold voltage is to keep all the electrons available at a given position, such that you will have, or you maximize the probability of inelastic collision between the neighboring atoms. So that is the role of your threshold voltage. So without that threshold voltage, it doesn't matter how much VDS you supply, electricity may not be passing through your circuit. And second thing is that you may ask that, okay, even without threshold voltage, if I give increase my VDS, there is a minor electricity or very low drain current passes through. Yes, that is absolutely right. Because when you don't supply any threshold voltage, I have not said that there will not be any collision. Yes, there will be collision happening between the neighboring atoms, and energy transfer will be there, but the probability of that collision is very less. So your drain current is very less. That is why when you look into the MOSFET operation, the moment you give sufficient voltage, even with very less drain source voltage, you can able to have a high drain current. Because with the threshold voltage, what we are doing is that we are creating an electric field such that it holds the electrons more at certain position, which maximizes the inelastic collision between atoms, and that transfers the energy to us. And then next we move on to this linear region. So for linear region, if you want to observe, keep your MOSFET operating in a linear region, we have to supply a gate voltage which is greater than your threshold voltage. And then let us start with our drain source voltage from 0. In this condition, if you see that, like as we have seen earlier, these electrons will be pulled towards the field, and then they will be available for the conduction. That is what we represent as this channel, right? So with this, in this condition, you will see that people generally will say that a channel has been formed. And how it has been formed? Based on, we have taken the help of this electric field. Let us, with this condition, what we have done is we have simulated electric field for this charge configuration, where this positive charge is represented as red, and neutral charge is represented as black. Here, why we have kept neutral is our VDS is 0. That means there is no field which is going to be in the horizontal direction. Whereas when you have a positive voltage given at the gate, you will see that from the gate, this electric field lines emanate throughout the space. So everywhere you will have. Suppose what will happen when I keep increasing the charges or spread the charges on a flatter side. So this is basically our metal plate where we give our positive supply, which spreads this charges uniformly out. So what happens is that you will see that because of this charges, you will have an electric field created uniformly, and this uniform electric field creates a uniform channel in the MOSFET, and that is the reason why when you say that when you give a sufficient voltage slightly greater than your threshold voltage, your channel has been formed, and that channel cross section, I am not going to call this as width because in 3 dimensional this is going to be the cross section. So the cross section of the channel will be uniform. So now, what will happen in the same condition if we increase this VDS slowly? If we increase this VDS, what happens is that you will see that there is a trimming of channel happening to the nearer to the drain side. Why that is happening? Because in earlier case, you will see that when there is no drain voltage, your channel is uniform. The cross section of your channel is same throughout the channel. But when you slightly start to increase your drain source voltage, you start seeing this trimming of channel happening here. That means we are in this region. So we have just given some, created the channel and increase the VDS. So with increasing in VDS, you will see that the current increases, but the phenomena which we need to note is that why this trimming of channel or decrease in cross section of the channel happening near to the drain side. To explain that in terms of electric field, so what we have done is we have simulated again the electric field distribution with this condition, where we have taken like for plus 3 coulomb on the positive gate side and plus 1 on the drain side. It corresponds to this condition where your gate voltage is greater than your threshold voltage, and it is your VDS is lesser than your VGS. And you can see from this, like this electric field spreads out everywhere, and because of this presence of field on horizontal side, you can see that there is a place where your electric field becomes zero. So suppose if I place any charge over here, that charge will not feel any force due to the electric field, because two like fields, they will repel, and they created a place where there is no electric field present. And you can also see that in earlier case, when there is no source voltage applied on the drain side, you will see that the electric field is uniform in nature. But the moment we apply any charge or any voltage on the drain side, you can see that there is a counteracting field which is established because of this non-zero VDS. So what happens is that this takes away the electrons present in the channel, which we can call it as we are depleting the electron near to the drain, depending upon the amount of VDS which we give. And this is the reason why you have a trimming happening in the channel. And here also you can see that when I have a drain source voltage which is much greater than your VGS or VDS, you can see that in this part you have a electric field gets diminished. So the intensity of this color says the strength of the electric field, and the direction gives by the it gives the direct. I mean, the arrow gives the direction of your electric field. So this says that why you have channels being trimmed towards the drain side. That is because of the horizontal field which is originating from the drain. It counteracts with the gate electric field, which actually it trims the channel down, and that trimming results in your decrease in your channel region. But that decrease is not very big, so you will see that the current in the drain side increases linearly with your VDS. And then if we move on to the next part, which we call it as a pinch off region, and this pinch off region corresponds to this condition, like your VDS should be equal to the difference between your VGS and VGH. When you attain this condition, people generally call that as pinch off region, because here you can see that the channel, it's almost having a zero cross section, because it is not going to be exactly zero, but it is having very minimal cross section. And with that minimal cross section, what happens and how this minimal cross section is being created, and the effect of this minimal cross section is that your ID becomes very less. Now the question is that why our ID has to decrease when there is no or when the cross section is limited, is because here from source side what we are doing is we are pushing more and more energy from this side, but when the output cross section is very less, you will see that irrespective of the pressure or irrespective of the potential here, only very less amount of energy can be transferred through this channel. And because of that, we'll see that this output current or the drain current gets saturated. Even if you increase or double or triple the drain source voltage, there may not be a significant increase in the drain current, which we call it as saturation. And we can explain this saturation based on the electric field distribution. Again, we have taken simulation help for that. When you say that your VGS, whatever in the gate side and the VDS are same, we have taken this charges on the vertical side and the horizontal side to be the same. And when we simulate the electric field, you can clearly see that there is a triangulation of electric field happens. You can see here. So what happens is this: the electrons from the source side, even though they are available throughout the width, but when you progress towards the drain, the channel decreases, the channel width decreases. And at one point, when it reaches the drain, you can see that the channel width is almost zero. Because of that, what happens is that even though you have so much of energy available here, the rate of transfer of energy from source side to the drain side becomes very less. And that is the reason why you experience saturation when your VDS is just equal about your VGS minus your threshold voltage. And this you can see here, like when you have equal electric field applied on both vertical and horizontal side, there is a two different domains of things which you can always see. So one is this domain and another one is the other domain. So where here we don't have much of our interest, whereas here the energy has to be transferred from the source side and the drain side, and this is the reason why you have pinch off or triangulation is happening at that point. And because of that reason, you will see that your channel gets trimmed further and further to a cross section where it is almost close to zero. It's not exactly zero, but it is close to zero. And when you restrict the cross section of your channel, the amount of energy transfer is also becomes very less, and it becomes very like it becomes same even for different VDS voltages. Now, when we move on to this saturation region, so this saturation region corresponds to when you increase your VDS, the channel length decreases. As per our text, the channel length decreases, and you can see this when the channel length decreases further and further, you will see that the ID remains almost constant, but there is a slight increase in the drain current with the increase of VDS, and people call that is due to this channel length modulation. Let us see how this channel length is getting modulated. When we go back to our electric field simulation, we have simulated the electric field where the gate side we have very less positive charge, and then drain side you have a high positive charge, and these two fields interact, and the resultant you can see from here that at pinch off your neutral line was here. Now the neutral line has been pushed more towards the gate. So what happens, the effective channel available for the transfer of electrons gets reduced to this point. Earlier you have a channel which can be available at this point, but now you can see that that it has been already now you can see that the width of the channel gets reduced because you have applied more voltage on the drain side, which further decreases the length of the channel, and which we call it as channel length modulation. And even with this simulation we can observe that earlier you have a neutral field at this point. Now it is slightly shifted towards the gate side. And now what happens is, if you further increase, now I have increased the voltage, like I have increased the charge on the drain side, and if you further increase, you see that this has been further moved towards the gate. So with the increase in the VDS, what happens is that the strength of your horizontal field grows, and with the growth of your horizontal field, the effect of your vertical field get diminished. So the now amount of electron available for the transfer of energy from source to the drain decreases, which decreases your drain current, which has been termed as your channel length modulation. Now let us look little deeper into that one. Like when people say that the channel length is getting modulated, can we make the channel length to be zero by applying more and more drain source voltage? So the drain current is given by this expression. Here the length of the channel is appearing at this point. Now what happens is, if you make this channel length to be zero, your drain current should become infinite. That means this your device should be like this. That means there should not be any channel, but there should be a flow of infinite drain current, which corresponds to your cutoff region. Whether our cutoff region and this will become same. And to understand that, again what we have done is, we have gone back to the simulation where we have taken equal charges. That is, we have started from the pinch off condition. Like from pinch off condition, what we have done is, we have calculated the electric field in the channel region, and we can see that exactly the pinch off is happening when you have your gate source voltage and the VDS are matching this condition. So you can also see from this, you can see that the electric field exactly gets divided into two domains, one in the upper domain and another one in the lower domain, whereas our concentration is on this upper domain, where here you can see that this is the pinch off point, and in subsequent simulation you can see that this pinch off point is slowly moving towards the gate size, reducing the channel length. So when you see that, when I here we have doubled the gate source voltage, sorry, drain source voltage than the gate source voltage. So you can see that the pinch off from this point has moved to this point. And again in this simulation also you can see that earlier the pinch off point was here. Now the pinch off point has moved towards this point. Now again, with further increase in VDS, you can see that this pinch off point has further moved towards the gate. So we have calculated, or we have performed this calculation based on this electric field. So you can see that this pinch off has been slowly moving towards the gate. So we got more interested to know that whether this pinch off will finally work. completely vanish your channel length. So for that, what we have done is we have increased it up to 4 times. This is the gate source voltage, and this is the gate drain source voltage. We have increased up to 4 times than your gate source voltage. Even then, you will see that there is a slight movement in the pinch off, but the channel exists. And then we have made 5 times the drain source voltage more than that of drain gate source voltage. But again, you see that still the channel exists, but there is a slight decrease in the channel length. And even this simulation, you can see that there is only a very few region or very less region available for the channel. Okay. So what happens is that when this is the field distribution when you have electric fields of equal length, like equal strength, intersecting from vertical and horizontal direction. And when you doubled it, you will see that the pinch off region has slowly moved. When you tripled it, and then it further increases, even up to 5 times. Like when the gate source voltage and the drain source voltage is of five times that of your gate source voltage, the channel does not decrease below 3/4 of its original size. That is, whatever may be the drain source voltage, once you apply gate source voltage greater than your threshold voltage, there is no way that we can remove the channel formed due to the gate source voltage, even if you apply 5 times the voltage greater than that of your gate source voltage. So there is no way that your channel length will become zero, and then your ID cannot become will not become infinite. So with this, what we can say is that once a channel is established in a MOSFET, there is no way that we can able to remove the channel unless we take out this gate source voltage. And then the question comes again is that, okay, that is everything is fine. From this, we can see that the channel length is decreasing, right? So when the channel length is decreasing, you can always argue that the amount of energy transferred or the electrons will be pushed up to this point, but there should be some energy given to the electron such that it jumps from this part to the just drain part. That is basically tunneling. But why without any extra energy, why there is a increase in the drain current? So for that, what we have done is we have again simulated. We have taken the help of simulation to simulate the drain current as a function of VDS without incorporating any channel length modulation. That we assume that there is no change in channel length, and if you increase VDS, it should go like a flat. But what happens in real is that when you increase the VDS, you will see that the after pinch off, when you increase the gate source voltage and with the increase in VDS, you will see that the drain current actually increases. It is not going to be a flat curve or ideal one which we have in mind. Why this is happening? This is happening is because what we feel is that when you have your electrons pushed up to this point and with increase in VDS, so you keep on increasing the VDS, the decrease in channel length becomes very less. If you compare from this part and to this point, here the field has been increased 3 times more. So here actually doubled, and this is the fifth one. So actually the field has been increased 3 times than here. Here the gate voltage is +1, and here it is +2, whereas here it is +1 and +5. So the horizontal field has been increased by 3 times. Even then, the decrease in gate source voltage, decrease in the channel length, if you see, it is very minimal. That means even if you apply more and more drain source voltage, more electrons are available. With more electrons are available here, and because of electrons repulse each other, the energy from this part has been transferred, and it gets keep transferred to the drain side, and that makes this drain current increases even after saturation, but that increase is in very less. Okay, so with that we can see that every action or every phenomena in the Fed can be described in terms of field rather than uh, just saying that it is happening and it keeps growing like that. And generally people say that when people try to optimize a device, they say that they are all alpha beta gamma researchers. That is, you change some alpha parameter and change some beta parameter, and you observe some delta change in the gamma parameter, and they publish. But actually, what I feel is that is more important here in VLSI, at least if you can, because when you use this kind of MOSFET, assuming that the current is saturated, and you fabricate millions and trillions of transistors in a given IC, when you put it in the real application, you will actually see that this current, instead of being saturated, it keeps increasing. And when you have millions and trillions of transistor contributing to your increase in current, actually the power consumption will increase. So which makes with that will makes the that will make the IC a poor IC, because we are all striving to attain a very good power performance of a given device. So what I suggest is that even your device, or when people you design your devices, or when you design any circuit, even there is a very minimal improvement in the current consumption or power consumption, that will be very much relevant in the practical sense when you implement it in the VLSI scale, right? And one more thing which I wanted to discuss here is that effect of channel length, because nowadays there are MOSFETs designed with a gate channel length of 1 nanometer, 2 nanometer kind of things. And that also has its say on the drain current, because when you reduce your channel length, the modulation becomes highly relevant. And because of that, you can see that for the same parameter, if the channel if the ID has a very less slope in increase, if you use the same parameter for the MOSFET device where the channel length has been decreased considerably, you will see that the increase in the drain current is much more compared to that of long channel MOSFET. So when we take the design aspect into consideration, this also has to be considered, because even for the same, because when you have an IC, when it malfunctions, we are always going to replace it with the other one. But what happens is that when you initially optimize your power performance for this channel, and finally if you replace it with this one, what will happen is that it will consume more current, and then the power consumption will be more, which will have its consequences on the device performance. So whenever we do any kind of optimization, all these things related to MOSFET has to be considered. And with that, I would like to thank everyone who listened very patiently to the lecture. I'm happy to take any questions, but the answers are very limited. Thank you. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah, Karthikeyan sir, I can hear
Ah,
you.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Audience, you have any questions? There is no more question. Yeah, fine. Yeah, Karthikeyan sir, thanks for your wonderful presentation and also your session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Audience, your participants, you have any queries, please you can ask your queries here. Means not about the section in general. Some of them they are asking the feedback from the first section. I have the idea of collecting only the single feedback at the end of the course. One person is continuously asking what about the
Hello, sir.
morning session? Yes,
Ah,
ma'am.
sir, in WhatsApp, why only admin can send messages is enabled? Frequently, if you have any query, I only can meet you in this online meet.
Yeah,
Through WhatsApp.
I'll enable, ma'am. I'll enable.
Okay,
Now
thank
I-
you.
yeah,
You
fine.
was asking any problems. I couldn't reply. Only I can wait for this chance.
Oh, fine.
So probably for all of them are same thing. Some more people have same question.
Yeah, I'll enable the WhatsApp.
Otherwise,
ma'am.
the
Anything else?
session now the session was went to nice. Just
Okay,
basic
fine.
about the MOSFET. I used to teach. It's very
Yeah,
nice
fine.
graphically. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Graphically. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other queries or any other problem? Yeah, fine. So regarding attendance, right now we have the auto attendance program. Means I have the plan of having the auto attendance. So based on the result, what I am getting the today evening, based on that, I'll change it. If it is not convenient, I'll share the link. Okay, I'll make the Google form. I'll share the link. Is it okay for you? Person is asking the admission. Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for your cooperation. We'll meet at 2 o'clock. Our next session, third session, will be at 2 o'clock. Okay, thank you so much.
And one more thing, sir. We
Yes,
have
ma'am.
a hands-on session, right? Hands-on session.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
In
That
that,
also I want to ask you.
yes, Cadence. I saw the Cadence tool. Whether we are how we
Yeah.
install that, sir?
We have the pirated version of CAD, I'll send the link. Okay, in WhatsApp group, I'll send the link. Get into PC. The website name is Get into PC. There you can download the Cadence 90 nanometer technology.
90 nanometer. Oh, good, sir.
Yeah, 90 student version. It is only for means it is for practicing.
How long we can?
Right?
Means 30 days or how long it will
No. We can use.
Okay. Analog or both digital version can you know, sir?
Yes, no. But I think it is not supporting for the layout. We are trying.
Okay. Digital. If you go for digital, it won't support physical.
Yeah.
And
And
rest of the
another
thing
thing you can use. Another thing you can use HSpice 2019.
Okay.
For FinFET and CNFET, we are going to use HSpice 2019. For that also, I'll send the link.
Okay, sir. 90 nanometers is good to work, isn't it?
Yes, fine.
Up to synthesis, we can go now, sir. Up to synthesis.
Ma'am, but no, it's not supporting. No, it is what I have planned. It is only for verifying the circuit level, digital circuit level, verifying the circuit, calculating the power consumption delay. That is the thing we have the idea, ma'am. Because no, we tried for this layout design. It's not supporting now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's
Thank
why.
you. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Suppose you need the remaining also, like entire session. I have the video lecture of one session which I attended from 10 people. I'll share it.
Okay, sir.
It
Yes,
will be
sir.
support for your entire, what I can say, design of your cadence-based digital circuits.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. I'll be contacting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
And I did
Sir,
in
any more queries?
WhatsApp group.
What, ma'am?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, how much space Cadence tool will require in our PC so that whether it will downloadable or
Sir, I'll let you know, sir. I'll check and tell you.
okay, Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I am Shweta. I didn't get WhatsApp group, sir.
Ma'am, I shared this in your mail also.
Yeah, I have checked in the mail, but it didn't
I see.
find
Again,
it.
I'll send, ma'am. I'll send.
Okay.
Please, participants, anybody having this invite link, please share with her, or otherwise I'll send. Ma'am, one more thing, whether we have to get the feedback for every session, no, right? We have only one feedback.
Sir, as I know, I've attended
Ah.
till now 3 Atal MDP. Usually for
Fine.
every session, they are taking attendance.
Not about attendance, feedback I'm asking.
No,
Feedback,
not required, sir. Yes, sir. At the end
No.
of the MDP,
What?
they'll give same link for this one feedback.
Feedback, right?
Yes.
No, because
And
some
test.
audience continuously they're asking. Some of the participants continuously they're asking feedback link.
No,
Suppose
sir.
if it is required for every session, I'll send, no problem. I will make and will send.
Okay,
No, sir.
excuse
No
me,
need, sir.
Yeah.
excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
can hear.
whenever we attend FDP, they form a Google form, and in that Google form,
Ah.
they give the feedback also, like it is good, average, or excellent. You can do that thing also.
For
Means we
every
can-
session you are saying, or
Yeah. Like you are going to make it for attendance, and in that you can make one more point, which is related
Oh.
to the feedback also.
feedback. Okay, fine,
Yeah.
fine, sir. I'll
That
make, sir.
whether-
I'll make and
Yeah,
share with you.
whether the session is good, average, or excellent. Right?
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Okay,
your
sir.
information.
And one more
Thank
thing, sir, I had asked for one more thing, that which software you have used for this electric field simulation?
Sir, that, actually, that we will ask Parth, sir. He used one online simulator only.
Okay, and the
You
name?
can search in Google, sir. You can search in Google. It is available.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. If you want
Okay.
exactly the software name, I'll share, sir.
Yeah, you please share it on
Yeah.
WhatsApp. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. There is any more queries? You can ask your question. Otherwise, we will wind up the session. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll see in our meet our third session. Thank you so much.